Stranger Things 4 might have ended, but there's still a whole lot of sci-fi drama out there. You just gotta open your eyes and look for it, or you could watch our video today to find your next binge. Either way, 2022's still looking pretty great for fans of the genre. Let's take a look at all the new sci-fi shows coming to our screens later this year. First up, we have Paper Girls. Whether you're Gen Z or a millennial, you've gotta admit nostalgia for the 80s reached gnarly new heights this year. We mean, first we got a blast from the past with Maverick, then Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill took over the music charts around the world thanks to Stranger Things 4, and now the MCU's Thor: Love and Thunder has joined in on the craze. Without giving any spoilers away, we can tell you it's got some solid 80s aesthetics, especially with its Guns N' Roses heavy soundtrack and a logo that'll remind you of Metallica. And guess what? Amazon Prime is also hopping on the 80s express with its upcoming sci-fi show Paper Girls. If you're not big on reading comics, then this is probably the first time you're hearing the name, but we've got you covered. It's basically an adaptation of Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang's comic book series. If you like fictional small towns, a solid group of friends, and some time travel, then this should definitely be on your watch list. The show will follow 4 newspaper delivery girls as they try and find a way back home to 1988 after landing in 2019 thanks to a time machine. Now that is a big time jump. There'll be some classic time travel tropes in there as the girls go back and forth between the 20th and 21st and come face to face with grown-up versions of themselves. But the series will also have something we haven't seen quite a lot when it comes to rose-colored 80s nostalgia realism. So you can expect some difficult conversations from Paper Girls, because according to the creators, it'll take a tough look at racism, homophobia, and the looming threat of a nuclear holocaust. Yeah, the 80s weren't all that great, folks. No matter what pop culture tells you, the series will premiere on Amazon Prime later this month on July 29th. Next up, we've got yet another Netflix adaptation, The Sandman. Now here's something that'll delight both the goths and the geeks alike. Neil Gaiman's Sandman is ready for a debut on Netflix. For those who are new to DC's most miserable cosmic entity, we're here to get you up to speed. Now this isn't your average good guy bad guy comic. No, The Sandman is much more complex than any superhero or anti-hero you've watched so far. This eco-fi horror fantasy epic stars Morpheus, who's basically a personification of dreams. There's no other way to put it. Coincidentally, he's also called Dream. Pretty fitting, don't you think? So the comic follows this pale, mopey guy with dark eyes and shaggy head of hair all the way back to 1916, which is when he was captured and imprisoned by the Order of Ancient Mysteries. Simply put, they were an occult organization after Dream and his brothers, who have pretty interesting names, we might add. Death, Desire, Delirium, Destiny, Despair. Quite the dysfunctional family we've got here. We know, it's a little hard to swallow, but give it some time and we bet you'll know all about DC's Sandman. If you're up for a super dark adventure across the dream realm, you should definitely mark your calendars for August 5th. Oh, and did we mention it's gonna star the raspy-voiced Tom Sturridge as Dream? Then there's the MCU that's gonna get greener with She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. MCU has dominated 2022 so far, with blockbusters like Spider-Man No Way Home, The Multiverse of Madness, and now Love and Thunder. It wouldn't be too far-fetched to say this is Marvel's year hands down so far. And the cherry on top, it's doing well with its TV shows as well. Phase 4's in full swing, and there's another character coming to the small screen. The super smart, super green, and super strong She-Hulk. So her story's a little different from Bruce Banner. He turned into the big green guy because of a top secret super soldier program unknowingly, while Jennifer Walters' origin story is simply put through a blood transfusion from her cousin, the Hulk himself. Now She-Hulk isn't gonna follow the same story as Hulk. That wouldn't have been so groundbreaking now, would it? So what's the deal with this new Hulk in town? Basically, she's just as strong as Banner's Hulk, but unlike him. She can maintain some of her human features when she, goes green. Did you know this character was originally supposed to make it to the big screen way back in the 90s? Yeah, but she was scrapped. Turns out the 90s just weren't ready for She-Hulk, but we're sure glad 2022 is. The show is set to premiere on August 17th on Disney+. Moving on, we've the franchise franchise that keeps on giving. Star Wars is coming back with Andor. Star Wars fans might not have an instantly recognizable nickname like Star Trek fans, but they do have something to look forward to, unlike their fellow Trekkies. A whole new show on Disney+. A prequel to Rogue One, a Star Wars story, Andor. Plot-wise, the events of this series will pick up 5 years before the events of the film, with Rebel spy Cassian Andor's storyline. You'll also be seeing Rogue One's Diego Luna reprise his role in the upcoming show. According to sources, they'll follow the adventures of Cassian during the early days of the rebellion. So brace yourself for a nail-biting thriller, folks. Andor will hit the screens on August 31st, and from what we know, it'll have 12 episodes. Here's hoping they live up to the Star Wars name. Up next is Marvel's Secret Invasion. Remember the post-credit scene in Spider-Man Far From Home? The one with Nick Fury and Agent Maria Hill? Only that wasn't Fury or Hill. If you're looking for answers, Marvel's Secret Invasion's where you're gonna find them. So this crossover event will throw the ex-director of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Skrull Talos back together after their first meeting in Captain Marvel. What could an alien Skrull and a human special agent possibly explore together? Now, this unique little team will follow the faction of shape-shifting Skrulls who've apparently been infiltrating Earth for years. You'll see a whole lot of new faces in the upcoming series, but you'll also see the return of Kobe Smolder's Agent Hill. According to reports, Secret Invasion wrapped up production in April 2022, so you can expect it to premiere somewhere later this year. Let's move away from the MCU for a bit and check out The Imperfects. This is kinda like Powerpuff Girls, but with an evil scientist instead of a good old professional Utonium. This coming-of-rage story will follow three 20-somethings as they're turned into monsters by an evil scientist thanks to his experimental gene therapy. Against their will, we might add, and thus the Imperfects were born. Now, this group is a mix of girls dealing with all the dramas of teenage life, on top of tackling monster mutations that leave them with superpowers. It sounds like the perfect watch for your girls' night in. Of course, there's more to the story. They'll be hunting down evil scientists while being chased by the government agency, because why not? From what we've heard, it's gonna be full-throttle action-adventure monster sci-fi. This will be another one for Netflix's original series, and considering the success of Stranger Things and Squid Game, we're really looking forward to The Imperfects. We don't have an exact release date right now, but we do know it's set to land on the streaming platform later this year. DC's really stepping on it with TV shows, because up next we've got another comic adaptation, Doom Patrol. Now, this might not exactly be a new show, but it is returning for its 4th season later this year, and with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, it would have been a great injustice not to add it here for Sci-Fi fans. For those of you who haven't caught up with the first 3 seasons yet, Doom Patrol isn't your average superhero show. Sure, it's got superheroes, but not without their twists, and let us tell you, the twists are unconventional. The series' superheroes get their superhuman abilities, but only after they suffered from a horrible accident. FYI, that doesn't involve losing a parent. Not saying that's not horrible, it's just that it's basically the origin of almost every other superhero ever. Doom Patrol's heroes are scared, disfigured, and outcasts, but still good at heart. We bet you'll love watching these unlikely set of superhumans trying to do some good. You can binge on the old seasons on HBO Max for now. And that about wraps up our video today, folks. Which of these shows are you most excited for? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.